First Degrees to Improve Food giveaway. Details at 11.
The ABC Monday night movie will not be seen tonight, so we may bring you the following special programming. Watch the ABC Monday night movie next week at its regularly scheduled time.
That's my son, John Denver. Boy, he sure loves the mountains. I think we spent more money on thermal underwear than we did for his entire education.
Hi, this is Johnny Carson. I got John Denver out of the mountains to be a guest on the Tonight Show. Well, actually what happened was our staff nabbed him when he came out to get a new supply of guitar picks.
Hi, this is Bob. I got John Denver out of the mountains. Hope. Yeah, I got the kid to come to Hollywood and be on my show.
This is Dennis Weaver. You know, I got John Denver to come out of the mountains and be a guest star on McCloud. And I can truthfully say that there's no finer action on skis anywhere.
And now, ABC Television is proud to announce we got John Denver out of the mountains again to appear on his very own television special.
Far Out.
The John Denver Show. With John's guests, David Carradine, Lily Tomlin, and James Whitmore as Will Rogers. Not to mention Bill and Taffy, Liberty, and a few surprises.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Once again, good evening. Welcome to our little television show here tonight. Beautiful ABC studios, Prospect and Talmadge, Hollywood, California. Man, I can't believe it. My own television show, you know. I mean, we were going to have my name up in lights. John Denver Dutchendorf. Well, see, yeah, that's my full name, see, and I figure, you know, this is television. The whole family's going to be watching. Mom and Dad, all the relatives and all their friends, and they got to know it's me. But as for the name and lights thing, you know, I really didn't think that was fair, what with the energy crisis and everything, because, gee, the electricity light Dutchendorf alone would heat a family of 6 for a year. So we're not going to have any bright flashing lights, no loud bands, no dancing girls. Maybe a couple of dancing girls. But anyway, it's no big deal. We're very excited, and I think we've got a great show for you tonight. In fact, I think we got some things that you're not even going to believe.
The John Denver Special is being brought to you by Toyota, makers of the 1974 Corona and 6-cylinder Mark II. The solid, roomy Toyotas that give big car owners something new to turn to. And brought to you by Oscar Mayer & Company. Providing your family with the finest quality meat products is an Oscar Mayer tradition.
On behalf of the Nationwide Consumer Testing Institute, I'd like to welcome all of you here this morning.
1974, the year of the small car. Toyota gives big car owners something to turn to. The all-new Corona. In a test conducted by Nationwide Consumer Testing Institute, these people actually gave up their big cars to drive a Toyota Corona for 3 weeks, around town, on the freeways, just the way they normally drive, day in and day out. And here's what they said.
It does have a nice solid sound.
Yeah, I was rather surprised that a small car was as sturdy as it was.
And I think it's more comfortable than my car.
I find a car quite peppy.
Quality-wise, it's exceptional.
The solid new Toyota Corona. It could be the logical replacement for your big car. From Toyota, small car specialists for 40 years.
I don't know if this is the right place to do this or not in the show. In fact, I'm not real sure this has ever been done on television before, but I want to dedicate this show to Sandy Barnes. You see, Sandy was a girl that I knew in high school, and she stuck by me at a really critical period in my life, late puberty. Well, see, the thing is, when I was back in high school, I was pretty shy. I mean, you probably don't believe that now, but I was really very shy. And see, I had gone with Sandy for about 6 months, and I still hadn't kissed her. And the thing is, Sandy was 4 months older than I was, and she had the one thing in the world that I wanted more than anything: a driver's license. Well, that's true, man. Do you know that the mating ritual of the American high school kid in those days was based entirely on the guy driving the car? There is no cool way to kiss a girl in a car when she's driving. Well, I mean, how can you be cool when she picks you up at your house and your folks say, have him in by 11? So I'd given up trying to be cool, see, and I figured what I was going to do is just be a man and kiss her, and I had it all worked out. I had such a great plan. One night when she took me home, I was going to get out of the car, slam the door, walk around to her side, get her to roll her window down, lean in, kiss her firmly but gently on the lips, and vanish into the night. We got home. She stopped the car. I got out, didn't even look at her. Walked around the back of the car, gave me a chance to pop a couple of certs. Cruised up to her window, went like this. She rolled the window down. The moment of truth had arrived. Her lips were quivering. I leaned in to kiss her, and I hit my head on the top of the door. When I came to, her lips were still quivering. My glasses were in her lap, along with one of the certs. She handed me my glasses, and I vanished into the night. So I never did kiss her until a couple of months later, close to graduation time. In fact, it was the day that our yearbooks came out in high school, and I decided to have a yearbook signing party. And my folks got real excited about it because it was the first time I'd ever had a party over at our house, and I was going to invite about 50 people, and Mom and Dad really got into it, man. I mean, she had the place looking spick and span. She made about 8 different kinds of chip dip. There were Cokes and 7-Ups. She bought about 200 coasters that said, "Use me" on them. As party time approached, I'd already passed out about 4 times blowing up balloons. Put my guitar over against the fireplace, just in case anybody should ask, you know. Got up to check, make sure the doorbell was working. Mom and Dad disappeared with my little brother, and I had the house to myself. I opened up a Coke, sat down, and wanted to be cool when everybody arrived. About my 12th Coke, I got up to see if the doorbell was still working. Pretty soon people started coming. Around 10 o'clock, I think it was, I had a crowd of 5. There were 3 guys, Sandy Barnes, and me. Well, there wasn't a lot to do with just the 5 of us. We signed each other's yearbook. Everybody took turns dancing with Sandy. She was getting kind of tired, you know. Pretty soon my mom and dad came home with my little brother. They signed everybody's yearbook. Dad danced with Sandy. About that time, we got a call from a fellow named Stormy Taylor, who lived up the street from me, and he had had the same ideas I'd had about having a yearbook signing party. Only difference was he had some guests, about 250 of them. And I mean, he wasn't even calling me. He wanted to speak to Gary, one of the guys that was there, and said, "Sure, man, bring everybody, come on up to our party. If you got any extra chip dip or Cokes, bring those along, too." Gary went. The other 2 guys went. Mom and Dad, my little brother, they went. No, they didn't. They stayed. Sandy stayed with me. And even though she was awfully tired, that night she danced with me, and
1974. You're watching people give up their big cars to drive the all-new Toyota Corona for 3 weeks. Does the new Toyota Corona give big car owners something new to turn to? Listen.
I feel that I have just as much room in the Corona as I do in my own car. Here the other day, when I got off right in the middle of the rush hour, my car handled very good. I feel just as safe in it because the car handles beautiful. It's solid enough, like when we first got it and the wife shut the door, she says, boy, it sounds like it's solid. When you shut the door, it goes boom. You know, not like clink.
In the year of the small car, Toyota gives big car drivers something new to turn to. The solid new Corona. From Toyota, small car specialists for 40 years.
I'm the Fame Fairy. I make people all over the world famous. Other people, not me. That's why we fairies dress this way. We don't like to call attention to ourselves. Why, we're all the same. It runs in the family. We could take a completely unknown person overnight and make them famous. Dinah Shore, for instance. Why, she's just another singer. She comes out, sings her song, goes... nothing. I say to her, I say, what's this, Dinah? 6 inches down, a little mwah, overnight a sensation. Walt Disney comes to me. Walt Disney says, Fame Fairy, I've got a dream. An amusement park. People from all over will come and enjoy themselves. I said, oh boy, what a good idea. You've got your popcorn, you've got your rides, you've got your parking lot, you've got your little animals, your little birds singing. Don't call it Walt Land. I get such joy, just nothing but sheer joy out of my work. That's why I'm here. I dropped by tonight to see how little Johnny Denver was doing. In my line of work, you're not supposed to show favoritism. But once in a while, one little perky person just finds his way into the soft spot in your heart. You mothers know what I mean. The runt of the litter. Let me tell you how I got John Denver started.
Hey, Dad! Dad? Where is it? Dad, I had that dream again.
Well, if it was the same dream I was having, congratulations, you little rascal.
Well, no, Dad, it was the dream about me being a star.
No, son. You got to face up to a few things. There are many things that you are not. You ain't, and star is right at the top of the list. Right next to smart and cute. Son, it takes many things to be a star. Many things, and I know, because I got them all. First of all, I hate to say it, but you got to have good hair. I'm not saying your hair isn't good. You got good hair, but it just looks stupid. The audience won't put up with it. You got to have hair like mine. Flat, smooth. I'm telling you, you could play a game of billiards on that sucker. See, you just don't have star hair. And even if you did have star hair, you ain't ready. You just ain't ready. Now, me, I've been ready. I've been ready for 30 years. 30 years. I've been laying back in the weeds. I even got my hit song already. As a matter of fact, if you were real nice to me tonight, I might sing you to sleep with it.
Yeah, Dad, and if I'm real lucky, I'll get back to sleep before you start.
Now, see, there's another thing. That's another reason you're never going to be a star. You're never going to be a success. You know why? Because you have a poor attitude. You have a poor attitude. Anyone with star quality would listen while his daddy sings. But you know what you're doing? You're making mock. And if there's anything that'll break a daddy's heart, it's knowing that he has raised a mock maker.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'll listen to your song.
Oh, well, good. And I think you're going to be glad you did. I mean, you listen close, because just tear your heart out. Throw your wig upon the pillar. Toss your padded bra across the room and lean. Put your dentures in a glass with mine. Unscrew your leg just one more time. And let's pick up the pieces once again. Are you sleeping, son?
No. No, Dad, I was just thinking, when you sing, your voice is just about as flat as your hair.
I sure went and raised me a mock maker.
Good night, Dad.
Oh, shut up.
Who are you?
I'm the Fame Fairy. I'm here to make John a household word.
John is already a household word, thank you.
No, I'm here to make you famous.
Me? Famous? Well, gee, thank you. I think you probably got the wrong guy. You're looking for my dad. He's been waiting for about 30 years.
Wait a minute. A little fella, flat hair?
Yeah, that's
no,
him.
We passed on him. No, you're the one, Jimmy.
It's John.
John.
Well, gee, I don't think I have what...
Wait a minute. Are you kidding? With that cute little face, that little gossamer hair, those little perky glasses, that overall mediocrity, why, you're just going to climb right to the top.
Climbing?
Yeah.
Hey, now you're talking mountain air, the trees, wild animals. Can I be kind of outdoorsy famous?
Outdoor. No, that's taken. A fellow named Ewell. Ewell something or other. You know the guy. He wears a plaid shirt, eats tree stumps. No, for you, John, I've got a dancer in mind. We need a great new dancer in this life. Remember putting on the top hat? Thin guy did the Continental with Ginger Rogers.
Fred Astaire?
That's it.
No, that's not my cup of tea.
Are you kidding? Fame is my game. Well, maybe they gave me the wrong address.
You know, Fame Fairy, I've done some singing with my dad.
Singing. Okay. Oh, all right with the singing. But for your own protection, I'm going to put you with the group. Come on, Wand. Baby needs a new pair of shoes.
Rock and roll, baby. Singing at the
the age of 2. He can hardly talk, but he sure know how to sing the blues. La 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 la.
Far out.
Wait a minute. You can't sing. You can't dance. You can't tell jokes. This is so simple. You'll have your own TV series.
Far Eastern.
So long. I got my reputation to protect.
Fame Fairy, I'm sorry.
This is where I vanish. Did I van? I didn't van. I'm out of juice. I'm out of juice.
Hey, maybe I can still be famous.
I'm out of juice. That's all it is. A couple of new batteries. I'll be back. Don't give up hope. Is there a thrifty in the neighborhood?
Right down the block.
Bye.
Well, Fame Fairy, that old magic wand finally worked.
Can I have your autograph?
Sure.
Yes, you know, little Johnny, you're on your way upward now, up the ladder of success. But remember what the old Fame Fairy tells you. The stairway to stardom is steep. Just when you think you're at the very tip top, be careful that a swell guy like you doesn't step on that old roller skate called smartass.
There you go. She's got her mother's eyes and her father's appetite.
She doesn't know Oscar Mayer wieners provide good, nourishing meat protein because only selected cuts of beef and pork are used, or that Oscar Mayer lists vitamins and minerals right on the package. She only knows they're fun to eat.
Good shot.
Give them one to grow on. America's #1, Oscar Mayer. Oscar Mayer cold cuts work hard all week. And they can do the job because they're made with selected cuts of government-inspected beef and pork. And seasoned with spices from all over the world. That's right. Oscar Mayer cold cuts work hard all week. But oh, on the weekend, do they love to stretch out and spend some time at home.
The second half of the John Denver Show will continue following station identification.
Wonder Woman, the Tuesday movie of the week on ABC.
When Jimmy and Betty Thompson wanted to treat their folks to a special anniversary dinner, they didn't have to take a big bite out of their life savings.
They got Kentucky Fried Chicken, had a barrel of fun. A good meal, good deal, good time, barrel of fun.
You don't need to spend a lot of money to have some fun. Not if you know the right place. At Kentucky Fried Chicken, we'll give you a good time and a good meal at a good price.
Have a good meal, good deal, good time, barrel of fun.
Los Angeles City Councilman Louis Noel is charged with improper reporting of campaign funds. We'll have a full film report tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.
Strategy of Terror, 6:30 tomorrow night.
(1974). These people gave up their big cars for 3 weeks. Some drove the new 6-cylinder Toyota Mark II. Does Toyota's Mark II give big car owners something to turn to? You decide.
It's definitely a luxury small car. Just elegant.
When something slams solid, it makes me feel good.
I like the maneuverability of it.
Our big car floats. And this one here has a gripping sensation to the freeway or highway. You know you have control over it.
It's much, much more sensible than the big car, and we just have no problems getting in and out.
The workmanship, I think, is outstanding. I don't think you can compare it to any of the two cars that I drive.
The new Toyota Mark II, built to give you something new to turn to. From Toyota, small car specialists for 40 years.
Is the John Denver official porch. You see, one of the things that I like to do up in Aspen in the evening after dinner is Ann and I like to go out and sit on the porch, watch the sun go down. Sometimes we have some friends up, drink a little Colorado Kool-Aid, look at the stars, watch the world go by. And tonight I'm going to get a chance to sit and talk with a man who brought a smile to the face of America. And that's Will Rogers. And I get to do that because of James Whitmore. Now, I'm sure all of you folks are familiar with Mr. Whitmore from the times that you've seen him on television or in the movies, but I don't know if all of you have seen the stage show that he does where, for 2 hours, he is Will Rogers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Whitmore.
Much obliged, John. I just wanted to see you and chat with you. You know, John, how's the old country doing now? You know, I ain't been around since 1935.
Well, Will, I think when you get right down to it, things are pretty much the same.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, you know, it could be worse. We have a gasoline shortage now, an energy crisis, and it really couldn't have come at a worse time. You know, I think that scientists had almost figured out a way for us to avoid walking to our cars.
Of course, I was telling folks in them days, I said, now look, folks, what are we going to do with all them filling stations when they become obsolete?
Far out.
I really did. And of course, I had a little start on the problem. I seen a filling station down in Texas many years ago that had already been converted into a chili parlor. But of course, that wasn't a real conversion because you could still get gas there, see? No, listen, that's hitting below the belt. There's no question about it.
Well, you know what I can't figure out is if there's no gas, how come traffic is so bad?
Traffic, my golly, traffic. How can they call it traffic when it ceases to move? I don't understand. I had a solution for the traffic problem back when I was around. I said that no car should be allowed on the road until it was paid for. Well, if they listened to me, we'd have turned the boulevards into playgrounds overnight.
Overnight? You know, Will, we got a thing called women's liberation now. The women are really pretty much on the march.
Well, they were shuffling around a little bit when I was here, too, you know.
Well, they've really done some great things, I think, today. Yeah, I'm very proud of them. They've also done a couple of things that I'm not sure I understand.
Well, join the club. Oh, John, listen, I always said that the two most sought after and least understood things on this earth was women and money.
Yeah?
Absolutely. There's only one thing I ever felt I really understood about the gals, and that was that they was not the frail little flowers that they're advertised to be. Boy, listen, I never thought there was a thing a guy would get into that a gal wouldn't get into and do just as good a job as the guy would.
Yeah?
Maybe even better, honestly. But I'm very partial to the ladies. I issued from a woman. Did you know that?
Is that right? I did myself.
You did?
Yes.
Well, for heaven's sake.
Yes, sir.
It works out pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes, the only way I know of.
John, tell me, come on now, what's going on in the country?
Well, we just concluded a war in Far East Asia.
In Far East Asia?
Yep.
My goodness, when you got to go 7,000 miles to find a war, you really got to be looking, man. But I don't know, listen, I don't really know nothing except what I read in the newspapers.
Well, you know, Will, aside from the newspapers these days, we've got television to give us bad news.
I know. Yeah. Listen, there were intimations of that when I was around. How'd that thing ever turn out?
Well, I think for a while they considered it kind of a vast wasteland, but it's been improving. Now it's only half vast.
John, listen here. Oh, you know, you was just lying in wait for me because I pulled that gas thing on you, wasn't you? Well, of course, that sounds like the Congress in my day. But tell me something, John. Has anybody ever done any intelligence tests on politicians, you know, comparing them to the higher animals like horses and like that?
Well, I don't know, Will, you know, but I think, honestly, that a lot of politicians are good, honest, hard-working men, intelligent. It's the other 98% that give them a bad name.
Yeah, boy, it's too bad the good apple don't infect the rest of the barrel, ain't it? But they're funny guys, John, I swear to goodness. You know, we got a great country here, John.
Yes, sir.
A great country, but it's a great country in spite of our government. Not because of it, see? Every one of them guys and gals down there in Washington is no better, no worse than the folks that voted them in there, and they're a lot better than the folks that didn't vote at all.
Beautiful.
Well, listen, you're only on this earth a very short time, you know. I don't give advice, but if I did, I would say just relax.
Yeah?
Have a good time, have a few laughs, and don't take things too serious, especially yourself.
I can dig that.
Just live your life so you wouldn't be ashamed to sell the family parrot to the town gossip, that's all. You know, John, honestly, I'll bet you, really, that I, in my lifetime, kidded about everything on this earth. But I always felt if there was no malice in your heart, there could be none in your gags. Now, really, you know, I reckon I joked about every prominent man of my time, but I never met a man I didn't like.
How many bacon packages do you look at before you find one you like? Well, Oscar Mayer knows just what you're looking for. Bacon that cooks up like this, with nice, even slices, and the best balance of fat to lean. At Oscar Mayer, that's the way we select our bacon, too. Before you ever see it, you get consistently high-quality bacon every time, because we do what you do before you do it. Oscar Mayer, America's best-selling bacon. After you take away the bread, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and mayonnaise, what have you got? Well, with Oscar Mayer bologna, you've got meat, and lots of it. Cuts from the beef brisket, chuck, round, and flank. Cuts of pork side and shoulder, never cereal or filler. Oscar Mayer bologna. The beginning of a beautiful sandwich.
Hi, I am not a professional spokesperson. I am an average citizen like yourself. And I would like to reply to an editorial on this station a few weeks ago when the man said there was far too much violence and you-know-what on television. Well, there may be enough violence, all right, to serve the most savage of tastes. But as far as I am concerned, there is nowhere near enough you-know-what. On crime shows, cops and crooks give us a true-to-life portrayal of vicious beating and killing. When are they going to give us a true-to-life portrayal of you-know-what? On medical shows, a young doctor and an old doctor spend a whole hour trying to cure some dread disease, when anyone can see all the patient is suffering from is a lack of you-know-what. On game shows, people get money for putting on funny costumes and acting generally on the dumb side. I personally feel that Let's Make a Deal would be vastly improved if behind curtain number 1 they would show us a little you-know-what. Even the news suffers. The only one that seems to have sufficient you-know-what is Walter Cronkite. So I say let's have some you-know-what on television. I see my time is up. Before I go, I think I should explain what I mean by you-know-what. I am talking about intelligence. Thank you.
I know what you folks are thinking. You're thinking, sure, he can sing songs, play guitar, can almost dance, tells bad jokes. Big deal. The question is, can he juggle?
(1974), the year of the small car. These people gave up their big cars to drive the all-new Toyota Corona. 3 weeks later, they had a lot to say about Toyota's solid feel, about its roominess, about its comfort.
I was really surprised that it handled well on the highway.
I think it's more comfortable than our car.
I really do enjoy driving the Corona. I feel it's well constructed. And yes, it does have a nice solid sound.
I find a car quite peppy. I try it on the hill, it just zoops right up the hill. It had a very good pickup.
It sounds like it's solid.
I get a bigger kick out of driving it than I do the big car.
The all-new Toyota Corona. It might just be the logical replacement for your big car. From Toyota, small car specialists for 40 years.
The John Denver Special has been brought to you by Toyota, small car specialists for 40 years. Makers of the solid, roomy Corona and Mark II. Now big car owners have something new to turn to. And brought to you by Oscar Mayer and Company. Providing your family with the finest quality meat products is an Oscar Mayer tradition.
Is saving the life of a political candidate worth the death of an innocent hostage? Chopper One's mechanic must decide. It's his wife, Chopper One.
Thursday night at 8 on ABC.
Mother, of course...
Why are you calling her so early?
I know she's up now, and it's cheaper to call before 8 in the morning.
That's right. When you dial long-distance calls without operator assistance before 8 in the morning, for less than $1, you can talk to anywhere within California for 6 minutes, or to New York for 4 minutes.
Charlie, Mother's got a great idea. With all the money we're saving on these calls, we could fly her out here. He can't wait to see you. He just thinks it's great. Oh, I'm so...
When I moved here to Santa Cruz, I found a job. I needed transportation, but I didn't have enough money for a car. I had no recent credit references, and no one in town knew me very well. I went to Crocker Bank. They took enough time to check my history. That established my credit, and I got the money for the car.
Crocker Bank. Ready to listen, ready to help.